Welcome to Megamind. Brad and Monica here. A quick reminder, please give us a like, hit the bell, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and supporting us. So today we're getting into some really compelling ideas about human behavior. Stuff you shared with us, actually.
Yeah, little nuggets almost from social psychology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Things that can genuinely, shift how you see your everyday interactions. Our goal today is to unpack, 5 specific psychological insights.
That's right, 5.
Right. The kind that give you a bit of a shortcut, maybe, to understanding how these subtle cues work.
How they affect how people see you, and interestingly, how you even see yourself sometimes.
It's like the hidden gears running under the surface of our conversations.
It really is. And what's fascinating, I think, is how these tiny actions, these small choices we make, can have these pretty big ripple effects.
Yeah, and the whole social dynamic.
Exactly. So we'll look at what they are, obviously, but also maybe why they work. What does that tell us about, basic human psychology?
Becoming a sharper observer, maybe, of yourself and others.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, let's jump into the first one then.
Yeah.
This is all about eye contact. We all know it's important, right?
Fundamental, yeah.
But apparently, where you look, that makes a huge difference. Get this. Stare at someone's lips, and they might think, okay, maybe romantic interest.
That's the common interpretation.
But then shift your gaze, just like a few inches up, to their forehead. Suddenly it's intimidating. That feels like a big switch.
It is a big switch, and it's amazing how fast our brains process that unconsciously. Looking at lips, it suggests intimacy, maybe closeness. It bypasses the purely intellectual stuff.
Okay.
But the forehead gaze doesn't have that warmth. It feels detached, almost like you're being sized up.
Scrutinized, yeah.
Exactly. It can come across as really assertive, maybe even confrontational. It's like this silent way of asserting dominance or finding fault.
So the other person feels judged, not connected.
Precisely. It just shows how powerful nonverbal cues are in setting the tone and the power balance.
That's a really clear difference. Okay, moving on. This next one. It seems totally counterintuitive if you're trying to be convincing.
Oh, this one. Yeah, it does sound odd at first.
The advice is, include an embarrassing detail about yourself. My first thought is, why would I do that? Why make myself look weaker?
Right. But it taps into something deep, this human tendency we have to trust vulnerability.
Vulnerability, okay.
When someone shares something embarrassing, even if it's small, maybe even made up for the purpose, it makes them seem more, human, relatable, and maybe, ironically, more authentic.
So it lowers the other person's guard.
Kind of disarms them, yeah. It's like you're saying, hey, I'm not perfect, and that creates this almost subconscious trust, a rapport. It can bypass their usual skepticism.
Because you showed a flaw.
Exactly. You've shown you're willing to expose something personal, which lends credibility to everything else you're saying. It's a bit of psychological jujitsu.
I like that. Vulnerability as a shortcut to seeming authentic. Clever.
It can be surprisingly effective.
Okay, and speaking of clever shifts, the next insight is about apologies. We all know the standard, I'm sorry, when something goes wrong, right?
The default, yeah.
But the advice here is to switch it. Say, thank you for your patience instead. It feels like such a minor change.
It does, but the impact is huge. It's brilliant psychological reframing, really.
Oh, so?
Well, I'm sorry keeps the focus on your mistake, your error, which can make the other person kind of dwell on the inconvenience, right?
Yeah, you're reminding them of the problem.
Exactly. But thank you for your patience. That immediately shifts the spotlight onto their positive quality, their patience, their grace in handling it.
Okay. You're acknowledging them.
You're acknowledging them, validating their effort, their generosity. It turns potential frustration into a moment where they feel appreciated.
So you focus on their contribution to the solution, not your part in the problem.
Precisely. It smooths things over so much better. It changes how the whole interaction feels and how it's remembered later.
That thank you does hit different, doesn't it? Makes you think.
It really does. Small words, big impact.
Okay, remember to subscribe. Thank you.
Oh, cool.
All right, so thinking about shifts, what about those times you're really stuck, like torn between two choices, maybe big ones?
Decision paralysis, we've all been there.
There's a trick for this too, apparently.
Yeah.
A simple one. Flip a coin. But wait, that's not the actual trick.
No, the coin flip itself isn't the magic part.
So what is?
It's about tapping into your subconscious. We spend ages weighing pros and cons, analyzing everything.
Overthinking it.
Totally overthinking. But often, deep down, our gut already has a preference.
Okay.
So the act of making the decision external, like flipping a coin, It bypasses all that mental chatter for a second, and in that moment, while the coin's in the air,
Yeah.
you often feel a flash, right? A little surge of hope for one outcome, or maybe disappointment if you imagine the other.
Ah, so you suddenly realize which one you really want.
Exactly. That flicker reveals your authentic preference, often more clearly than any logical list could. The advice is to trust that gut feeling, regardless of how the coin actually lands.
Listen to your internal compass.
It often knows the way, even when our rational mind is tied in knots. It's a neat way to cut through the noise.
That's a really powerful idea, just revealing what you knew all along. Okay, last one. This feels a bit bold.
This one definitely requires a certain amount of nerve, yeah.
It's about getting away with things, or maybe just moving through the world without friction. The advice:
Mhm.
enter or exit a place with total confidence, like you own it.
Act like you belong.
The key is don't hesitate. Don't look around nervously. Just walk in or walk out.
This plays directly into fundamental human psychology, how we respond to authority and social cues.
How so?
Most people are sort of programmed subconsciously to respect confidence, to assume legitimacy when they see it.
Yeah.
So when someone acts like they absolutely belong somewhere, no hesitation, no uncertainty, others are just less likely to question them.
It bypasses their suspicion filter.
Exactly. You project this aura of, I have a right to be here, and people tend to accept it at face value. Think about the opposite.
Someone looking shifty, hesitating.
Yeah. That immediately triggers our internal alarm bells, right? It signals something's off, something's not normal. It invites scrutiny.
So the confidence acts like a social camouflage.
In a way, it's about how strongly you project that belief in your own right to be there. That projection influences how others perceive you. It's that silent assertion, I'm here, I belong.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up.
Mm.
From tiny things like where your eyes land,
Uh-huh.
to reframing an apology, or even just the way you walk into a room.
Yeah, the sheer confidence factor.
It's clear these small psychological insights pack a real punch. They're powerful tools for just, well, understanding and navigating the social world better.
Definitely. And it's important to remember these aren't really tricks just for, like, manipulating people.
Right, that's not the point.
No. They're more like observations about how humans fundamentally respond, how our minds process social stuff. Understanding them helps you be more aware, sure, of your own signals.
What are you putting out there?
Exactly. But also helps you read situations better, to critically evaluate the unspoken stuff happening in interactions all around you.
Seeing those subtle gears of connection.
Yeah, the invisible threads, you could say. It makes you a more discerning observer of behavior, yours and everyone else's.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. The next time you're chatting with someone or stuck on a decision or just, walking into a coffee shop, think about these little shifts. How could being aware of these psychological undercurrents actually change how you approach things day to day?
How might it make your interactions more intentional, more aware?
Maybe even just a little smoother, a little more effective. Something to think about. Drop your comments below and subscribe to our channel. Brad and Monica are personas we use to make our content more engaging and relatable. We're not affiliated with any organization or product mentioned. Our discussions are just for inspiration and entertainment, not professional advice. Always think for yourself, take what works for you, and make your own decisions. See you next time.